Welcome back, everyone. So now we're still doing select. Edit mode is additional selection capability to demonstrate them. Use something other than the default cube for a change. Tab back to object mode. Delete the cube. Shift A. Select a add a grid object and tab into edit mode. Then will see the grid that's made up of 9 by 9 faces or 10 by 10 vertices. Initially, they'll be all selected. Use A to unselect them, and C to brush select a few vertices in the middle. Okay, so let's go ahead and reset. File anew. And actually, let's go ahead and turn this on. View. Okay, so let's delete that. Let's add a shift A. Add a grid object. Grid. And what should the grid be sized? 10 by 10? Okay, let's just leave it default, I guess. Let's click the tab. There we go. Now, like that. You have to use double A instead of single A. And select them, then C to brush select a few vertices in the middle. C. Interesting. N brush select mode with right mouse button or escape. Now which way happens to the selection when you press Control Num. Select more. What did it say to do? Right mouse button. N. Okay, N with escape. Now what happens when you to the selection when you press Control Num plus. Control Num plus. Aha. And if I did Control Num minus, Control Numpad minus, it would actually go to my end screen. Actually, it's not going to hurt anything, I guess, to do that. Let's see what happens. I'm going to minimize my window over here. And then here, I'm going to go ahead and do a Control Num. Let's go back to here. And apparently you couldn't hear me. For some stupid reason, OBS automatically intercepts all keyboard actions. So basically, when it went to the end screen, is because I have my special key hotkey for going to the end screen, which is the numpad minus sign. It just makes it easy for me. So when I try to use it in any other window, apparently OBS will intercept it, and which is weird. It shouldn't do that, but whatever. Anyways, as you can see here, when I did that, it went back to this. So that's pretty cool. You'll see the vertices of the edge of the selection are removed from it. Okay. Manipulator, transformation key, hotkeys, and pivot point. All these available for you. All these are available for use in edit mode as they are in object mode, except for the manipulate center points button. Note the scaling vertices scales the distances between them. The vertices themselves have no size, so they do not get larger or smaller. Similarly, rotate vertices only changes their direction relative to the pivot point, since a featureless pivot point itself has no orientation. So what happens if I did scale? Ooh, check that out. Oh. That is Control Z. Actually, you can do some cool stuff like extrude, like, I don't know if was it E or something? Yep. There's E. And E is for extrude. Check that out. Control Z. Okay. Transform orientations. The global, local, and view options in the transform orientation menu apply in mesh edit mode as they do in object mode. In addition, there's a normal mode where the transformation axes are aligned relative to selection. If a single face is selected, the X and Y axes are aligned along the face, while the Z axis is aligned perpendicular normal to the face. If a single edge is selected, the Z axis is aligned along the edge with the X and Y axis perpendicular to it. Other selections are also possible. Feel free to investigate the behavior for yourself. Thus, with a single face selected, that's okay. So let's go to the face select mode. Single face selected. GZZ will move the face along its normal. GZZ. Boom, 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 boom. But then if you don't do that, you're doing some kind of weirdness. Look at how it does this weirdness here. Woo! But if I do G, Z, Z, you're just moving along as normal. So, like that. Okay. In addition, it's possible to define the current normal transformation orientation as a custom orientation for use in transforming other vertices and either other objects. To do this, you need to go to the Properties shelf. Near the bottom, Transform Orientations panel, which contains a Transform Orientation menu, which looks the same as the one in the header of the 3D view window, except it also has a plus button next to it. Click the plus and the current normal transformation orientation will be added to the menu. Initially labeled vertex, edge, or face, depending on what is currently selected. With a unique numeric suffix added, there's already a custom orientation defined with that name. Now, if you look in either transformation orientation menu, you will see a new selectable item in a separate section about the 5 standard items. Okay, so let's go to N. What to say? Now it has a plus button next to it. Something with the plus button. I don't know if this has what it's saying here. Huh. I don't know anything about a... I might not be able to do this here. Pardon me while I look closely. Transformation orientation menu. Transformation orientation, I see. It doesn't look like there's one in here. Maybe that's the new thing of... Okay, well, I guess... So it says a plus, click the plus, normal transformation orientation will be added to the menu. Is that global values, local values? Oh. Orientation. Huh. Global? I don't know what that does. What does that do? Cursor. Local. Huh. Click the plus next to it. Allowing you to change the name is also next. I do not know what the equivalent of this is in 2.8. To define the current normal transformation orientation as a custom orientation. Custom orientation Blender 2.8. Orientation menu 2.8 in custom orientation. Maybe I missed something. The hotkey now in 2.8 for the menu, which in 2.7.9 was been orientation menu alt space. Now it's just a single keystroke comma. What is comma? What does that do? How does that add on? I don't know. So I guess I don't know if I should. Maybe I shouldn't dwell on this. Vlog, videos, vlog. All right. Oh shoot, that needs to go into archived and pictures. Vlog. Okay, that goes in there. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I tried to look it up. I couldn't find it. And it's not a big deal. Because later on I'm going to go through some more Blender tutorials. And it's not going to matter if it's... if I don't learn it here, because I'll learn it eventually, and I'll probably put it in a video. So I'm going to end it here, and I want to thank you for watching.